So yes, this is my first time in Kiev, and being here the first time, it's a real eye opener to what the city has to offer in terms of the heritage and the history background, and also the recent sort of changes that the city has sort of experienced. I think for me, being here only less than sort of 12 hours, what I've experienced in the city, it's more it's absolute positive elements to what the city's going to be in the future than I can ever sort of imagine. So I had a postcard image of Kiev before arriving. Now I've experienced the Kiev sort of culture, and also the buildings and the architectures and the history, and it's given me another sort of impression what the city has. So yeah. So I'm coming as a part of a employee of Gensler. So in my past life, I will always say that, because I'm not within the design world anymore, because I've migrated to the real estate side. So in Gensler, during my 8 years in Gensler as an associate there, I've worked at projects in Moscow, in Saudi Arabia, Shanghai, Egypt, Apple stores, things, a lot of things that I've experienced in my history working with the company. But the real challenge I had, and the real sort of gem, was actually King Abdullah Financial District. That gave me the most challenges in terms of the actual design and execution of the work. So it was a city that we built from nothing, and the component and complexity of that, to allow design to finesse, we had to go through a lot of clients and also the consultants to finesse the idea into what it is now, which is almost done. The city is almost constructed. So yeah. So using, to be frank and open, methodology of construction in superstructures and your main structure to a building it's a typology. So you've got a different typology of construction that's suitable for a different size and scale. So often, steel is being used for larger span to create a greater span, a single span structure, versus a concrete building or timber, because the span of steel is greater than your concrete and so forth. But then technology are changing. So I suppose where the steel comes into place, it's about erection on site. The quicker that we need to get on site, the quicker we can construct a building. That's the most important. So steel allows quicker and more accelerated program to construct a building versus concrete, and that's given day in day out. There's no argument about that. But it's also about the drive. So I suppose it's going to be the balance between cost, construction program, and the design intent, and how those three components marry together. So I can't just say, actually I'm going to design a tall building, and no, without considering everything, it's going to be steel, or it's going to be concrete. No, there has to be a time, and there has to be a way that different discipline comes in table, structural engineers and whatnot. We will talk and finesse the idea to achieve the design intent, and that's more important than just saying, right, we're going to do steel. Oh no, we're going to do timber. No, that is not the equation. The equation is you need to understand everything before we do the structure. So look at the design, then evaluate the rest. So that's more important. Yeah, I have to say London. London contains the most design talents. Of course, London has been marketed and also sold as a design powerhouse, in the Western Hemisphere, because London contains not just architecture, design in general. So you look at fashion, you look at the retailing, you look at the elements of design. It all comes from, I'm not saying London contains everything, but it contains the majority of talented designers. And the reason why London contains more talent than anything else and in any location around the world is because it attracts talent globally. It's not just Londoners, it's not UK people, it's not English people. No, it's people from different backgrounds coming to a single city to finesse, to think about design. And that's, I think London contains one of the most powerful sort of designers or design hub that any city has. You know, not discounting New York and Paris, but it doesn't quite have the same magnitude of diversity. So having diversity creates ideas. For me, I think three words or three elements an architect should have, and whether they have it or not is a totally different story. For me, it's about empowering the design, the people, the context. Empowering is a word that means a lot to me, and then the identity you're creating, not just yourself, the rest, the design that comes with it, that's important. And also, as a human and as an individual, a citizen of the world, you need to have empathy. Empathy is something that's we're all lacking. Failing to understand reasons of causes. Failing to understand a person's perspective on things. We tend to oversee that. I'm not trying to teach people how to live, but I think because you are the creator of a lifestyle, you are the creator of spaces, so therefore you should have those key three items in your design or in the way you approach things. So it's important, yeah. In UK, I've been awarded multiple, design awards for my work as a student, and I think that is the time when your passion comes through. During your university years. So I've won a couple of awards, here and there, but doesn't mean you are everything. No, it's just the very beginning of your life and the journey. So yes, no, I'm a humble character. It's a couple of awards, and it's part of my process of learning. So yeah, success is a multiple of different interpretation what success mean. Okay, and I think the challenges that Ukraine and Kiev has at the moment is that it needs to think through what are the components to make a city of this nature succeed and create a new vision. That's part of the local challenge, because it is coming to a transition. It's in acceleration of the nature of the city and the country, and this is the opportunity for them to contribute to society and design something that's relevant and applicable to the lifestyle that the population is living within. And that's more of a success in terms of themselves, but also the city. If a city prospect, designers and in construction industry would succeed as well, because you are better, you are building more, country becomes better, the city becomes better, everything just becomes a bit more fluid, rather than in sort of limbo, So that's where it's not necessarily driven to them, but they are part of that whole mechanism. That's how you want to make success out of, not something from there to something you can build upon and better that. And that's how that's how I would advise them to make success out of them. Not money. Knowing for a fact, being an architect, there's no money. so don't expect money, but it's the vision, is the desire to better yourself.